Hey guys, welcome back to Tornado Survival. Hardcore actually. I've been playing recently, just a little bit. I've been residing in this village over here. And mostly just spending my time trading with villagers, thus the emeralds and the insane, we'll call it insane loadout for such early game, considering I don't even have a house yet. I mean, I have a house, but like I'll show you when I get back there. Like the amount of loot that I have in that house is kind of ridiculous. Especially for being at this point in the game. So obviously this may have taken a couple of you by surprise. My channel doesn't upload almost ever. And that's partly because, I don't know, I just don't really play games like that anymore. And when I do play games, I'm usually playing with the guys. I don't want to spend my free time, the little bits of my free time, editing videos. Because obviously it's not a job for me. It's not anything that's going to make me money or anything that's going to, you know, be worth much. So at the end of the day, sure, it's fun to record, but it's not fun to edit. Not as fun, at least. And when I do want to edit, then it's not... I want to edit, I don't want to record. So it's definitely not something I could do on a daily basis. Oh, right. So I promised I'd show you guys the loot as well. That is all of my loot right now. And obviously I also have some in my inventory. And a almost full iron set with the exception of boots, which I could make, but, you know. So yeah. A lot of stuff has changed recently. I was previously residing in Central US. I moved from Central US to East Coast, and then from East Coast to West Coast, due to the military moving me around. That's been interesting. I enjoy getting to see different parts of the US, I guess, and the fact that they paid for me to travel all the way across it, that was kind of cool. But at the same time, it gets kind of annoying to move all the time, you know? It's kind of one of those things that I think a lot of people would prefer to live without. And so do I. So, to fill you in a little bit, so what I'm starting to work on is I'm going to build a house kind of right on this plot of land here facing out this direction. And I plan on building sort of a farm. Kind of like some farmland along on these ridges maybe. And then perhaps like, almost like maybe a vine. Excuse me. Like a vineyard along here. That would be kind of cool. But just like a nice territory. I'm playing this game a little slower than I usually do. Definitely not going for a high speed experience or anything like that. And since it is so early game, and the fact that it is hardcore, I'm trying not to play it stupidly. You know, by staying awake all night. So yeah. It'd be great to eat, but I unfortunately did not bring any food with me. So what I've been doing is I've been taking a lot of these sheep around, shearing them up, and then selling the wool to the villagers to get emeralds. And then I've been trading those emeralds for tools, as you see, because obviously it's still very early game. Most of my loot looks like village loot. It's like the classic iron armor, you know, maybe some tools, and then a bunch of just starter items. And that's legitimately because I've so far spent probably an hour in this game just sitting in this village alone, working on various tasks. So yeah, one of the other things they will buy is they'll buy coal, and so I'll sell that, and they also buy iron, but unfortunately the iron to emerald trade it's just not worth it, so I don't tend to trade with them. But what I might do is I might set up a bunch of doors and try and get them to start breeding. I'd like to get some new villager types. I was coming back here for food, that's right. Food is something I do not have. Right, I suppose I can start heading out. I'll probably just have to... there we go. probably just have to kill something and get some food. But nothing spawns. That's the other thing. Okay, so I'm playing Minecraft 1.12 here, right? And I can't tell if this is just a bug from the old versions of Minecraft. Let me put my phone on my charger here. Right, I can't tell if this is just a bug from the older versions of Minecraft or if this is like actually a feature, or not a feature, but like a. It's got to be a bug. But I was meaning like something actually like coded in to the older games, and then they had to rebalance it. I've killed a number of mobs around here, and they just aren't respawning. Like, I purged this entire area of sheep, cows, chickens, horses, all that stuff, because I was selling the leather from the horses, I was selling the wool from the sheep, and I was selling the leather from the cows, and they just never respawned. So I've kind of hit this dilemma where I don't have any mobs respawning, which kind of sucks. It's a fire. I kind of wish wildfires were a thing in game too, but at the same time I feel like that'd be so incredibly destructive. Yeah, pretty simple. I've got a little background music playing, which I don't think will actually make it into the cut of the video, but I can probably just edit it in, honestly. Like, I'll probably just paste it into the background, exactly what I was listening to. It's honestly kind of depressing music, I'm not gonna lie, but it's also very relaxing, so I'm enjoying it as best as I can. And of course, he's farming the crops right as they grow. So I'd like to get these crops before he farms them and then sell them back to him for a large profit. Ah, yes. One more wheat. It's also cool because this particular weather mod has this sort of grass swaying texture to it, which is kind of nice. Yeah, that's right. I saw you walk over that particular block. You were going for that wheat block, and I took it. How does it feel? No, so, the thing I like about this weather mod, though, is the weather easy to config. So I've got tornadoes turned way down. And although, yes, it somewhat defeats the purpose of having it called a tornado survival by having tornadoes turned way down, I feel like having it as a background part of the game, having it as something that just kind of happens on occasion, not something that's just an everyday occurrence, but something that's like, you know, you're just going about your daily life, and you haven't seen weather in a while, so you're not really expecting much, and then all of a sudden, a tornado drops in on your house. That's kind of how I want it to be, as opposed to it being always storming, and I'm constantly on alert for tornadoes. And I've noticed that the way that I'm playing the game is much more relaxed because of that, which I've kind of liked, because it keeps to the what I feel like is like the theme sort of Minecraft. Kind of keeps to the simplicity of the game, which I quite enjoy. But actually, have I traded you up? No. Cartographer. I don't know that cartographers are worth much, because I think, for the most part, all they sell is maps. And I don't need maps right now. Skeletons in 1.12 also have aimbot, so I'd prefer not to get into a fight with a skeleton. Just go ahead and drop my meat in there. And I'll just make some bread with this instead of trading it up. I'd much prefer to eat. But it's just began snowing. We got winter stand down or Christmas stand down. I don't really know what you call it. Coming up here pretty quick. So that's going to be kind of nice. Get me away from the base. But yeah, man. Active duty life is it's pretty great. It's nothing special, and obviously I have my gripes and moans, but I think for the most part, I've been treated pretty well. I know not everybody has the same experience, but as much as I like to have my problems with it, I think that's the nature of people is, you know, we like to complain about everything, even when we do not need to. Something honestly, and this is kind of like, I'm not trying to have like, you know, admission of guilt kind of time, but like that's something like I need to get better at, is just cutting out a lot of that. Just not being quite so negative about things that aren't necessarily completely negative, you know, like sure there's its downsides, but like the upsides are so many. Like for instance right now I'm sitting in a room, I got heat, I have water, I have electricity. Obviously I pay for my internet, but everything else is paid for. All I have to do is show up and work essentially a 9-to-5 job. Obviously it's earlier than that, but it's the same hours, right? It's 8 hours or whatever it is. So I'm working an 8 to 10 hour shift usually, with the exception of duty, on which I stay there for 24 hours for the duty day, and then depending on if I'm walking into a weekend or not, sometimes up to 36 hours at the very max. I'll be usually no longer than that. Look at the cows, bro! Oh, this is my territory. Come back! Alright. We're gonna go ahead and make a bed. I know I have one back in the village, but I'm kind of also traveling away from the village to try and see if I can pick up some materials out here while I am traveling. Let's just go ahead, make a bed, drop that, and sleep. And we'll get some of these cows in the morning. Hopefully pick them up and then move our way back towards the village. Doesn't matter if I break the bed, because if I die, I don't respawn, so. Living that Minecraft hardcore life. It's also got me playing a lot more, like, scared, almost? Just more cautious. We'll say cautious, because I like that word better. I like the way it sounds, so we'll say that. I'm playing more cautious. Come back! Bro's the master of McFrizzles. Juking me out. Alright, bet. Now that absolute bloodbath of animals is completed, I shall begin another one on these cows over here. I like steak. Steak is a good food. I like golden carrots better, but those are better for way late game when you have like a gold farm or something like that. And then they just become like the ultimate food. And or a villager trading post. Which I heard, and I could be wrong, but I heard that they rebalanced villagers in the newer versions of the game. I don't know how I feel about that, because on one hand I like it. I feel like villagers were kind of OP, but at the same time I feel like that's a mechanic of the game that you have allowed people to use for so long that taking it away almost seems like you are restricting the players because you don't like that they're using the game in a way that you didn't intend. Which is like, well, on one hand it's definitely one of those things that you could argue back and forth, because you could say, well, it's a bug from the start and Mojang just kind of let it slide, but at the same time, like, I really do think there's an argument to be made. Villager trading being the way that it was, being a part of the game, and that Mojang didn't like that people were using it to get so far into the game so easily. But to an extent, I feel like that's good. That's good to have features like that, because it allows you to make what you want out of the game. Like, for instance, let's say I don't want to play survival slow, I want to play it fast. I want to get a lot of tools, and really good tools, so that I can do mega projects. Because obviously I don't want to do a mega project when I'm mining stone at a rate of like a stone a second. Like, that's not, I'm not going to do that. But I might want to do a mega project if I can mine, you know, 3 or 4 stone a second. So once you start getting like beacons and stuff like that, and you start building up this whole mega mine, excuse me, start building up a whole mega mine, like, obviously that changes your gameplay, and now you can build those mega projects. That's why I think villager trading should have just been as a feature of the game. And if you wanted to use it, you could use it. If you didn't, you could simply ignore it. And I feel like that's how the old Minecraft was. I mean, obviously there's villagers here, but you don't have to use those villagers. You can choose if you want to or not. And I think that's sort of the beauty of the older versions that some of the newer ones have kind of lost. But not trying to turn it into a gripe session or anything like that. I know I literally just mentioned complaining about things that aren't actually that bad. But I do feel like there's some truth to that, though. This is a ridiculously small village. Oh, but they do have crops. Crops are good. Crops mean profit. Profit means good things. Oh, that's beetroot. I don't want beetroot. I want the village. So I'll come back to this village in a second. I'm just kind of trying to see if I can spot a village anywhere out. Oh yes, I can. Sweet. I'm gonna go to that one right over there. Beautiful. But life is good. Life is good. You know, like I said, got the warm bed, got the Wi-Fi running gigabit speeds, absolutely fantastic. Obviously, it does a mark on my wallet, but you know, gigabit speed's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I know some people running 3 gigabit speeds, and they're like, "Oh, that's trash," but you know, I think it's good. So, I grew up with like, you know, 200 megabit, if not worse. So, you know, having gigabit speeds. Actually, I should correct that statement. I grew up with a Wii console when I was, what, 12 years old, as my first ever gaming console, or first ever game electronics, right? And then past that, I think when I turned 13 or 14, I want to say, is when I finally got my first iPad. And then that's when I actually started playing Minecraft. And then when I turned, I want to say it was like 14 or 15? Maybe it was 13. No, it was older than that. 15, I want to say, is when I got my first phone. That was pretty nice. Having a phone for the first time was fantastic. What a day. I like the look of this, though. It's gonna be a blacksmith. Walking around here. Ooh! Yes! Yes! Diamonds! Let's go. I'll go ahead and take some of these. You know what? I'll take the chest, too. It's a free chest. May as well. I'm walking around collecting village trash, you know? Like, this isn't supposed to be a hunt for high-value resources. But I do figure pillaging a village once or twice would be nice. And grabbing some of those chests. That's the other thing I think I like about the older versions too, is that they have smaller loot tables. You don't find as much loot sitting all over in the overworld. I think that's kind of nice. It's a swamp over there. And I think if I got some like glass bottles or something like that, I got way more than enough meat. At this point, I'm just killing cows to kill cows. This is what we call boredom, I would say. Alright, let's see what you can trade. Oh! I like that trade. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. 7 emeralds. What else do you trade? Open that up. Let's see. Trash. Trash. Fletcher's never trade much. Die. Give me all the leather. Good sir. Leather, good sir. There we go. See, the other thing I like about the older versions is there's not quite as many mobs. See, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Not really trying to make that second trade, but the first trade. That sounds good. Value. Yes! Sweeping edge. I like that. I actually really do like that. I will make that trade because I'm looking actually for a new sword. Sweeping edge 1 on breaking 2. Good stuff. What else can you give me? What is your maximum enchant? Whoa! Oh! Oh! Yo. Okay. Hold up. Let's go. Get out of my way. Let me cage this guy up. I got him trapped! Your friend! How does it feel? Lisa? What do you trade? Show me what you trade, sir. There's books. I might come back for the books at some point. I already do have some books, though, from my village. That's the thing. So. Well, this village has not been taken full advantage of. So I think that is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to come back here. And I want to say I have, if I'm not mistaken, I really want to say that I have a saddle. Because it'd be nice to ride a horse. Ride a horse into battle, sir. Sir, is your horse ready? My horse is always ready. Ready for battle, sir. But yeah. Turns out, I am allergic to about half the world, so. Never thought I would be allergic to as much as I am, but kind of wild. Oh, all the villagers start running. That's how you know it's time to get into the bed. They're all just standing there, and all of a sudden they just hit this point where they just book it. They're like, where's the house? Let me in. All right, let's move. We can put this in my offhand for the time being. No, it doesn't really do it much good per se, but, you know. Actually, swap those two. Like, I think you guys can see kind of what I'm going for here. I'm instead of going for like a more aggressive approach to the game, I'm going for a more laid back approach to the game. I'm going for villager trades. What I might do is I might even, if I get a horse, I might even pave out roads in between these villages. I think that's the coolest part, is that by having tornadoes turn back a little bit, it takes that feature out of the game, but it makes it a background part of it. So, like, let's say I make all these roads, right? And I'm sitting in the village, just going about my business, and a tornado strikes. I actually have to realize that, like, that tornado could hit any of these villages. That tornado could just wipe one of my neighboring villages off the map and remove a valuable trade partner, which is, like, a completely new aspect to the game and something I really, really, really like. I like the fact that there's that, like, that potential, that opportunity that can add into the gameplay, add into the vibe. That's kind of nice. That's why I'm playing with the tornado mod. It's not because I'm looking for 1,000 tornadoes. It's not because I'm trying to sit and stare at a radar in a basement the entire time. It's because, as a background feature, especially in a hardcore world, I think that's kind of cool. I also think it's kind of cool that I'm legitimately about to get a diamond sword, and I'm still dealing with starter loot. So, diamond sword plus a diamond pick, you would pretty much think that I'm almost late game looking at my tool selection, upon first glance at least. Stuff's kind of cool, man. Stuff is kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know how to make the villagers breed. I'm assuming it is just doors. Placing down a lot of doors. Excuse me, around here. Right, so I have golden horse armor. I don't have what I need, which is a saddle. That kind of blows. I'll take the leather with me, because that can't hurt to have. Nice thing too is like one of the I watched a video about one of the older tornado mods, and it's crazy because that stuff makes no sound. So in this mod, let's say the tornado's right over on the hill, it'll be raining here, so I will know that that tornado is there, or at least this thunderstorm system is there, because I'll see it raining and I'll know to like peek outside and check the severity of the storm, right? I think that's a really nice fact. But I watched a video of an older tornado mod, and it was interesting because the guy is like sitting in one of these houses, and all of a sudden you just hear the sound of the tornado ripping apart a house behind him, like from here to that house. And he's just sitting here, and he turns around, the tornado's right there, and he's like, what? So, do think that's quite interesting. I don't know if a butcher is a thing. Is it still a thing in this older... He's got a white smock, if I'm not mistaken. Leather work. A butcher is not a thing. Or maybe he is, and I'm just not cool enough to get one. That's a farmer. That's a Fletcher. That's a fisherman. Shepherd. I feel like there is a butcher, and he looks kind of like this. But I could be so wrong. I don't really feel like getting completely embarrassed by my own lack of knowledge on the subject of Minecraft. Minecraft, a game I have been playing for centuries. I'm just kidding. Imagine though. If I was playing for centuries, my levels would be a lot higher than that. Lame jokes. Anyway, we continue. I digress. I digress. I like that word. I really like that word. I don't know why, I just do. It sounds very formal to say that. Well, you know, this, and this is going on, but I digress. You know, it's a good word. And it sounds very nice. But that's probably also me. I'm, you know, I'm a little bit odd. Granted, I'm also recording a video for an audience of 190, 172 people. And none of them are going to watch this. So, you know. I think at that point you could legally call me crazy, and you'd probably have a pretty strong case. But that's cool. That's no problem. This is gonna be a little long of a video. I figure I'd probably record about a 30-minute episode. Actually, what I might do is once I get back to this village, I might just end this episode. But I'd like to finish up. I'd like to see kind of if there's... I know I'm traveling in the wrong direction. If somebody's getting frustrated out there because they have decided to watch this entire video, I promise you I know where I'm going. I just wanted to see if I could see a village in what's left of the plains over here. Because if I could, that'd be kind of nice. So realistically, I will not see any hurricanes in this area, no dust storms, but the one thing I will see is tornadoes, because this is a plains biome. So of all of the places that tornadoes can spawn, that they are physically able to spawn in the video game, this is the biome that they'd spawn in. So, or this is, I should correct that statement. This is the biome that they would have the most likelihood of spawning in. I also am here to collect coal for one purpose, and that's to go back to that village and make an insane profit and hopefully be able to afford that sword, because that'd be kind of nice. Oh, that sounds like rain. Is it raining? Maybe that's my music. Ah. I should do the... I need that torch mod. There's a mod that you can get, and obviously everybody knows about it, but it's the mod where you hold torch offhand, and it lights up your gameplay. I need that mod. I don't think it's made for 1.12, or at least it's not on the CurseForge website. And I'm doing this entire thing through the CurseForge launcher, which makes it significantly easier. I love how I said I was gonna end the video like probably a good 5-6 minutes ago, and I'm just down here mining away because I'm like, nah, I don't really care. Honestly, the editing is gonna consist of maybe an intro, like a brief. Nothing that's like, you know, gamer kid kind of intro, but and then perhaps just like a small end card or something like that. I went back, I started looking at all my old intros and outros and my new intro and my new intro and all that stuff, and man, dude, the kind of stuff that I posted on my channel, it's wild. I went all the way back to my first videos, and this is something I don't think anybody knows that I ever posted. I went back, I watched my old Mario videos, the videos I recorded when I was probably like, I want to say I was probably like 14 or 15 recording that. Ooh, that's a storm. That is at least a rainstorm. So maybe I did hear rain. I'm actually headed in that direction because my villages are all over in this area. So I'm probably going to hit the rain. I didn't expect to just come up and see the dark clouds like that. But that is definitely at least a rain cell over there. But it's likely not going to turn to anything more because I don't see any high winds. It seems... it's a still day. So there's not much of an intake into the storm, so more than likely it's just going to sit here as rain. But that's okay. I don't mind just enjoying a little bit of rain. Oh yeah, sweeping edge. Oh, we like to see it. Oh man. Let me get these kills. Beautiful. Just gorgeous. Watching the leather pour in. I'm gonna make some serious profit when I get back to that village. The village. Free cows, free cows. Free cows for the taking. Now I'd like to go to bed because I don't really want mobs to spawn and kill all my villagers. Excuse me. I think I don't know if I strained my voice earlier today or what I did, but my throat's just been dealing with a tickle. Just a little tickle. Just a little tickle, sir. Just a little tickle. It's definitely been a good 10 minutes now. It's 100% been a good 10 minutes now of me just recording past the point that I said I was going to stop. And that is very likely going to be the rest of this video. It's just me going, oh man, it's been even longer. Oh, now it's just an overcast day. What kind of? Huh. Have I been recording for 45 minutes? I think so. Huh. Because I feel like this is a different playlist than I was listening to before. That's probably what happened in that cave. This has been a good 30-40 minute video. I should end it here. So. It's going to blow away. On that note, one more cough. It has been great catching up with you guys. I do plan on probably recording 1 or 2 more videos in the future. Just to kind of keep you guys updated. But regardless, I'm sorry if this was extremely boring. To me, it's more about the kind of videos that you would watch when you're laying in bed and trying not to go to sleep because you are dying of boredom. Or at least like trying, you know, you just want entertainment but you don't want to go to sleep. But you should be. This is one of those videos that like is perfect for that because you will fall asleep to this. Or hopefully you will. Hopefully my editing's not too bad. And you can, you know, just kind of, it's sort of intended as, you know, that kind of dead gameplay that's not really supposed to be very fast-paced. But also just kind of something that you can watch in the background while perhaps you yourself are playing Minecraft Tornado Survival. Although I highly doubt it. Anyway, until next time, this has been, I think my name on YouTube is still DJ Squirrel 33, but that will be changing. My new gamer tag has swapped to EMCI 2020, and I use that now instead because it is so much more refined. So this has been all. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.